بسم الله السلام عليكم. قال الله تعالى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. وقال تعالى: إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله. وقال تعالى: إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. وقال تعالى: والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدئنهم سبلنا. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: من يريد الله به خير فقهه في الدين. So I want to address now every Muslim who claims to be from the people of Deen. Okay? And in recent years, honestly, I've come to dislike this term a lot because it carries a sense of judgment about other people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. You don't need to go around praising yourself or claiming that you are purified, guided, mashallah, you're the person of Deen. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. And we could spend the next 500 years talking about the Muslims who we think are away from Deen. But it's pointless. But there is a very serious point in talking about the people who claim to be the people of Deen and the people of the masjid. I want to ask, and I want you to ask yourself a very serious question. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that if you are helping Allah, then He will help you, okay? Then why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala subjugated every single Muslim country in the world to the tyranny of non-Muslims? Okay? That doesn't sound like the help of Allah. When there are 40 to 50 million Muslim refugees, this doesn't sound like the help of Allah, does it? When in recent decades Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blowing up entire Muslim countries and killing Muslims by the millions, that doesn't sound like the help of Allah. Yet, any Muslim does not think that they are the cause of this. Okay? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does everything for a reason. And so that's why I want to talk about the people who claim to be the people of Deen. Why is Allah not helping you? Why is Allah not answering your dua? Okay? Unless you are making dua, oh Allah, please kill the Muslims by the millions. If you're making that dua, so Allah is answering it. But if you're asking Allah for His help, Allah is not answering. And so I want to ask, what have you done and what do you do for Islam, actually? What have you done? Okay, when your community should have been set up, if you were doing Islam, the most important thing in the Deen is human beings entering Islam. That's what this series has been about, mostly. And so your community, if it's a community of Islam, it would be a community that is ready to solve the problems of converts. Your community has done nothing because you have done nothing. Okay? But you claim to be a person of Deen. Which Deen? It is not the Deen of Allah. It is not the Deen of the Quran. It is not the Deen of Rasulullah. Rasulullah spent his life with converts. Rasulullah built his community for converts. If you claim to be the people of Deen, then why do you lose the interest of 90% of young Muslims? Okay? If you claim to be the people of Deen, then why are intellectuals and activists disinterested in you and in your masjid and in your community and in your program? Okay? Maybe you have a problem. Maybe you have a problem. And it would be better now, it would be better to find out and to figure this out now. Because what I've been talking about is that every single one of you is in for a very rude awakening Yawm al-Qiyamah. Because you have disastrously failed Allah's deen. Disastrously. Catastrophically. When it's not necessary. What is necessary is for you to transform yourself to become a worker of Islam. Okay? If even 5% of Muslims would spend 6 or 8 hours a week actually doing something productive and useful for Allah's deen, we would solve our problems. Believe me. But the way it is right now, it's not even 1%. Maybe 2%. Okay? And even what you do, there's very little intelligence going on in the Muslim community. Very little organization. There is very little thought. There's hardly any indication in an entire community that there is any brain activity. And I mean that very seriously. I mean every Muslim, every one of you, and all of you imams, and all of you board members. Okay? You have been catastrophic to Islam. And you are every day. It's the way you think, the decisions you make, the decisions you don't make. Okay? The things you do and the things you don't do. Every opportunity that you miss, every day you spend, ignoring either obligations or priorities, ignoring the problems, and just occupying yourself with whatever you enjoy doing. That is not Islam. That's in this verse, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. Okay, Allah guides people who will struggle with sincerity to Him. That is negated when you just do Islam according to what you want to do. Well, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. That's not Islam. Okay? So again, I mean, I'm very serious when I say that I believe that it is the Muslims in the West who had the greatest opportunity in Islam to be the Ansar of the mission of Dawah. You ignored it 50 years and destroyed it. You had the greatest opportunity that the Ummah has had in over 500 years. And you blew it. And it is my belief that it is you living here when you had the perfect opportunities and the perfect freedom, and you did not do Islam, you did not do things right, and essentially you proved to Allah that now the Ummah is basically useless to the objectives of Islam. And so in the same 50 years, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is raining down destruction all over the Muslim world. And my dear brothers and sisters, it is my belief, and I think you will find it true. Yawm al-Qiyamah. I think it is you. I think you are the reason that this has happened. Okay, and I think that it will continue if you don't wake up now and get very serious about being a functional, useful Muslim. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.